Good morning to you, Priyank. The latest, we are told that Rajapaksa has now fled Sri Lanka and has landed in Maldives.
Yes, that's the information which we are getting through sources because last night what Times Network got to know that Gotabaya Rajapaksa was attempting to have a deal with the opposition party because instead of so much of support on in the parliament, certainly Gotabaya Rajapaksa could not have this kind of support among the people, and following to which what we got to know that Gotabaya Rajapaksa has left away from the country. He has apparently reached Maldives, and that's along with his family members. During the course of the day, it's going to be very important to see that what is going to happen next, because today was the D-Day when Gotabaya was expected to step down from his position as the president of the country. There are two options which were certainly there among the people. One, to move to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court can actually sack the president, which is availability in the constitution of Sri Lanka. The second option was certainly Gotabaya stepping down from his post of the president of the country, then him writing it to the Speaker of the House, then Speaker making an interim president of the country, which can only be the sitting Prime Minister. The opposition party has also moved towards this, and they have stated that they want Sajid Premdasa, the leader of the opposition, as the president of the country. So in between the political turmoil which is still continuing in Sri Lanka, Gotabaya has apparently left the country. He has left the Maldives in the Air Force jet, which flew not only Gotabaya but 4 of his family members.
All right, but Priyank, now what happens from here on? Because it seems there would be a caretaker government that will be now in power till the time we are looking at what will happen next. Fresh elections, will that happen next? How will they now take over as the new government formation in Sri Lanka?
See, the interim government can be in place for around a month, and during the course of the day, what we have got to know from the Speaker of the House, that the Speaker can have an interim president in place, and the interim president can also be there. But the Speaker has also made it very clear that till 20th, they are expecting that they will be holding an election so that the new president can be formed in Sri Lanka. But in the meanwhile, we have been observing that the protesters have already been protesting on the streets. They don't know that what is going to be the fate of Sri Lanka, but since Gotabaya has already left the country, there's political, constitutional crisis which has also started in Sri Lanka.
All right, but Priyank, looking at the current situation there were crises that were being faced also by the Rajapaksas to flee from the country. First, there were initial reports saying that he has taken refuge at some naval base. His family members also tried to escape to Dubai. That also did not happen. They were faced with a lot of protest.
See, Rajapaksas were facing huge, oppose from the people because a day back, his cousin brother, and who was the former finance minister of the country, who is being blamed to be the one who has led the country to this kind of constitutional crisis, Basil Rajapaksa, while he was trying to leave the country, all those immigration staff opposed it. And later to that, what we also got to know that when immigration staff opposed it, the Basil Rajapaksa had to come back to his house, and he could not leave the country. But in the meanwhile, what we know that Basil Rajapaksa is already here. We are talking about the family members of Rajapaksa. There are several siblings who have been holding key constitutional posts in the country of Sri Lanka, and all of them wanted to leave. We are talking about Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was the former Prime Minister of the country. We are talking about Basil Rajapaksa, then Namal Rajapaksa, who was also one of the ministers. So they have been constitutional member and part of the cabinet which was formed by Gotabaya Rajapaksa. But Gotabaya was on the eye of the storm among the protesters, because his policies has led to the country to this kind of political turmoil. Last night, Times of was the first channel which got this information that Gotabaya was attempting to have a deal with the opposition party leaders instead of them being not in majority and having a good public perception and public support. So the opposition party also apparently had some kind of refused to have any kind of deal with Gotabaya because they wanted him to face the law of the land. But much before that, much before the countdown could actually begin for Gotabaya to step down from the president post, what we are getting to know that he has already left the country and he is in Maldives.